Hey YouTube, this is Ace Pinkter. I set out a little while ago to create an instrument which would play not only when I press the key on the keyboard, but to also trigger some effect or to play a different instrument entirely when I let go of that key. Using this I could get kind of a backbeat rhythm without too much effort. The instrument I was thinking of was the acoustic guitar, and I wanted to achieve a way to do essentially just that, a backbeat. And that would be, you play a chord, for example, you hit some strings, and then on the return of your hand you would get that smacking sound on the strings. But this sound doesn't really work out for that purpose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you today how to create what's called a release gate. And what we're going to do is basically just trigger an instrument when we release the key. Propeller heads did not make it easy on me. So this is actually what we have to do here. I'm going to need to use a 6-channel mixer. So I'm going to wire this up instead to this guy. Okay. I'm going to call this down because this represents the down strumming sound. I'm going to create another NN19. I'm going to give it a different patch here. Actually, I can use the same patch. That's fine. Let's see what it sounds like. Alright, with a short decay, we get that kind of chopping sound in the strings that we're going for. Good. So, that wasn't too hard. That's going to be our up sound. The tricky part is getting them to talk to each other. So this is how we're going to do it, and it's pretty tricky. It's best if I don't explain the math and just go along with it. I'll run out of time otherwise. So we're not going to use the down anymore. Now that they're in a combinator, what I have to do is go to the up portion and tell it not to receive notes. This means that I won't inadvertently trigger it with my keyboard. So let's hear it. Good. We're only hearing down. So in order to get this gate effect, we're gonna have to create another instrument here. I'm going to use a subtractor, but you can use a maelstrom if you want. In fact, if you have the right setup here, you could even use your initial instrument here, the AC guitar. But I can't presume that you're going to have an instrument with the proper filter envelope set up, so I'm going to create one. And this is we're just going to subtractor as a gate. This is very similar to the way we use the gate in the granulizer tutorial. So we're going to use straight sustain, nothing else, and we're going to disconnect this audio output. So what this mod envelope is going to do is when I press a key, the value is going to go to 127. When I let go of the key, the value is going to go to 0. Now that's the exact opposite of what I want, and I have to create a CV merger and splitter and take this mod envelope and get the inverse of it. This way when I press a key, we're going to get a very low value, and once I let go of the key, that value is going to rise above 0 and it's going to trigger our gate. Now unfortunately what's actually going to happen here is I'm going to get a value of negative 127 when I press a key because it's being reversed, and when I let go it's going to go back to 0. That is not going to work out for us too, because 0 is too low to trigger the gate. So we have to hack our way around this using a bipolar matrix. I'm going to go into the curve section and I'm just going to set it straight across, and I'm going to give it just a little bit of variation here. This will allow us to get slightly different velocities somewhat unpredictably out of our gate events. Not too much though. Really just keep it very close to the top. Hit run. Now we're going to take this curve and we're going to add it to our merge. I don't know if you actually have to crank these up or not. To be honest, I'm not that familiar with how the math functions work here. So that's the basics of it here. What we're doing is we're going to send a depressed signal, which is going to be a low value. And the matrix, all this is going to do is kind of give us a constant offset. It's going to add about 60, between 50 and 60 it's going to add that to our system here, our math function here. And that means when we press a key, we should only get negative 60. And once we let go of that key, it should jump up to around 64. And that will be enough of a CV value to trigger our gate. So let's take this merge function, and we're going to connect this to our up string. And I heard it. I heard it right there, and that is a good sign. So I'm in the combinator right now. Let's press some keys. And let's let go of those keys. Alright. Totally impressive, isn't it? Yeah, this doesn't really sound all that great. It needs more volume. It needs some fuzz. You could probably give it some distortion or something like that to kind of thicken it up. But that is the basics of getting a release gate. So it'll work as fast as I can hit the keys. And there's no timing involved. It's not going to wait a certain amount of time and then give up. No, it waits until I let go of the key. So I'm in complete control here. One of the other setups you might want to use this for would be like if you've got good hi-hat samples and you wanted to get a hi-hat that would actually play open when you press a key and play close once you let go of the key. That's something you could do pretty easily with this setup. It does require these 3 instruments here. I wish there was a better way to do it, but there isn't. And in the combinator, we can use this merge output. We can even split it a few times if you want to trigger some different effects. Let's say if I take this output and connect it to rotary 1, I can even let's say throw in something like a RV7000 reverb. In fact, I could just connect this directly to reverb gate. Work pretty well. I don't know how well this will sound, but you can see the function. You can see the function of this gate visually now. When I press a key, no gate, and once I let go, the decay shoots way up. So you can use it however you want to. This is just the essentials of using a release gate. I should walk through it once again. Inside your combinator, create a mod envelope which looks like this, all sustain, nothing else. Take that mod envelope. You want to reverse that value by running a CV splitter. Take the inverse and send it over to a merge. Then we have to offset that value by using a matrix. There's probably other ways to do this. I just use a matrix, pretty simple, and give it a high value all the way across, not all the way up. I'm using bipolar just because I know that the values that I need have to be between about 50 and 64, and this will keep me from going over or going under that limit. So that's it. Then once you've got that, just take your merge put and treat it as if this is going to be your whatever you send it to is going to receive a note whenever you let go of the key. So that's how you can do it. Go have some fun with it. Try and find out different ways to do it. Reverb isn't the only effect you can trigger because you're working in a combinator. If I wanted to, I can I can take this gate output and I can send it to one of my knobs, and then I can use this knob to control a whole host of effects. You want to have a delay which is going to kick in once you let go. You can do it that way too. So this is just my 2 cents. Hope this works out for you. Ace Pinkter out.